Part two of fearless self-healing with homeopathy in 15 minutes. These deep chats are designed to light a spark of inspiration in you to learn more about yourself, about your cells, through learning how to use homeopathy, a 200 plus year old risk free quantum medicine. And yes, I said quantum. And though we don't have time to go into it in this chat, if you stick with me in my teachings, I bring lots of insights that align with one of the most well studied areas of science, quantum physics. Okay, so in part one, which is up and available to watch on my YouTube channel, I dove right into one of the major hangups I see when people begin learning any new thing, particularly homeopathy, and that is fear. In part one, I enthusiastically attempted to quell that fear. And for especially for those who are beginning to learn. So I know that you guys are already really well versed in homeopathy, some of you, but in the beginning, fear is there for many, and this idea of homeopathy and homeopathic remedies and the way they're prepared, they will not harm you. So they're prepared in such a gentle, elegant way that they have this powerful, energetic influence, but no ability to poison. So after we discussed the lack of risk in using remedies, we then discussed my conclusion drawn from over 16 years in the field of natural and preventative health, which is that the stories that our medical and scientific systems reference when developing and recommending best practices in disease prevention, screening, and treatment, that what I found is that those stories are completely misguided. Now, I say that with full confidence, but I want to assure you there's no expectation to believe me. In fact, I recommend withholding belief in general. You see, beliefs are thought forms that are repeated and then become constructs from which we make decisions and then take action in our lives, most of the time without an awareness of them and their influence on our lives. So, this is also called programming. And in my opinion, it is our beliefs that make us sick. So on that note, I'm going to jump right into tonight's radical central idea. And that is, I do not believe in diseases. You might be saying, well, what? That's crazy. No, it is true. You see, much of the wisdom I value most today occurred to me after many years of searching, testing, and feeling frankly confused. So much of my wondering began to harmonize when I started looking away from institutions, authorities, industry, and academia, and into nature. Nature provided an essential source of inspiration and clear, observable mechanisms that taught me so much about the concept of disease. See, humans have this thing called judgment. We have been programmed to judge. We make things good and bad. But I don't see that in nature. For any of you who've studied or continue to follow spiritual teachings, you'll hear this concept of duality, dualism, basically good, bad, either or, this, that, cause and effect. And that is where I see we are misled about disease. We have been taught to judge ourselves and our symptoms instead of applying curiosity and discernment, both of which are energetically very different than judgment. In nature, there isn't good health and bad health. There's order and disorder. So all of these diseases that we've named are essentially just our way of sorting and categorizing varying expressions of disorder. We could also call them symptoms. Now, I will tell you, if I were to believe in one disease that I feel lies at the root of pretty much all human suffering, health or otherwise, that disease would be amnesia. We forgot. who we are and where we come from. And for generations, we keep complicating life with more rules, regulations, and conditions that fragment us and deepen our sense of separation and fear. So, no wonder when we experience a set of symptoms, we immediately go to war. We poison, we poke, we prod, we remove, we try to get rid of it without considering that the real problem might be the perspective that makes us think we need to do those things. And look, if these things were working, if national or global health was trending in a successful direction, well, then why change? But it's not. The health outcomes in the United States, with all of our advanced science and medical technologies, charitable organizations searching for cures, they have been and continue to be abysmal. What's craziest is that I've seen statistical estimates that include hospitalizations, surgical mistakes, and pharmaceutical effects that position our healthcare system as the #1 leading cause of death. Now, it's all about how you look at the numbers, but any way you crunch them, why is medicine even on that list? Well, it's for the exact reason that I left conventional medicine behind on graduation day when I received my master's in public health. I could not get behind the idea, the principle that it is okay to harm in the name of healing. So now maybe you're already on board with this. Maybe you're saying, Marissa, you're preaching to the choir. Well, guess what? Natural health, especially functional medicine, while perhaps less supportive of harm in the name of healing, as conventional medicine is, it still follows some of the same misguided stories I mentioned earlier. Stories that germs or genetics are the things that make us sick. And I followed these stories too. This was in my belief system for a very long time. And it wasn't until I looked to nature that I started to reevaluate these things and realized that if I haven't reevaluated the stories I've been told and the ones I continue to tell myself about disease or about my body, then I've basically made a lateral move to natural health from conventional health. Just because I'm using herbs instead of pharmaceutical drugs doesn't mean I've aligned with love and wholeness. It doesn't mean when the going gets intense, I won't run to some kind of a fear-based, harmful healing reaction. And I'm speaking from experience. That was me. I went from one extreme to the other and found the experience was emotionally no different. We are 99.9% energy. 0.01% of us is physical form. Back to that quantum physics stuff. But just because we now remove gluten from our diet or use elderberry instead of NyQuil, it doesn't mean that we've deprogrammed and then reprogrammed ourselves to heal our bodies with love and without harm. Essentially, what I'm saying is that when I invite you to learn with me, I am inviting you into much more than learning what remedy to take for a fever instead of Tylenol. That would be a dualistic teaching, and we are here for more than take this, not that. We are here for a major transcendence to co-create the world, the healthcare system that we all deserve, that we don't even know is possible yet, because we haven't done the deprogramming before reprogramming the next new steps. All right, so there we go. A rant officially over. Now, this time I am not going to let you go without a remedy tip. I didn't get to that on Tuesday. When first starting out, I recommend everyone give a type of nutritional homeopathy a try. It's called cell salts. Cell salts are made of some of the elemental compounds that make up our cells and can stimulate an awesome boost in our vitality, our ability to absorb or assimilate nutrients. These little remedies can help us with a lot of things. So if you'd like to try a great starter tip, go to your local health food store or search online for a bottle of a combination product that includes the 12 primary cell salts. One kind is called Bioplasma by a brand called Highlands. And what I want you to do is take a few pellets of that and shake it up in your water and drink it before 10 a.m. You could do it for a few weeks or up to a month, and then just see how you feel. Now, if you feel really touched by something that I've said or something that I said sparked your curiosity and enthusiasm to learn more, because I've said a lot about what I see not working, but now, well, what can we do? What's new? What can we do next? How do we create and carve out a new path with solutions that come from a loving consciousness, a more nature aligned consciousness? Well, I'm excited to announce that I have more for you. I have developed a course called Homeopathy in an Hour. I will be offering it live, and I'm going to be holding it on the evening of Mother's Day, Sunday, May 14th. And I will be emailing information about how to register for the course next week. So make sure you sign up for my email list. The best way to do that, I will, if you're not already on it, I'm going to post a link in this YouTube video or on my Instagram at marissa.lavin. Or you can also sign up through my website, marissalavin.com. And, just a reminder that this class is not just a how-to with homeopathy. It's also how to navigate this deprogramming and reprogramming process that I feel is necessary for true healing. Because the truth is, I've been studying and practicing homeopathy for a long time, and it literally rocked my world. I was so skeptical. I couldn't possibly understand the mechanisms of it at first, and still don't even want to put a cap on what is possible in the explanation of how this kind of energy medicine works on the human body. But it's not about the remedies as I see it. I've supported so many people at this point that I've realized that it's these stories. I talk about story a lot in quantum physics, as I'll explain in my deeper dive, more immersive experiences, learning experiences. Our story is what drives our life. There is no future, you guys. There's just now. The future is another now. So if we want to recreate something different, if we don't like something that's going on and we're sensing our body not liking something that's going on, if we don't start to make little shifts now, we're just going to end up running the same programs over and over. And like I said, whether it's conventional health or natural health, if it's coming from the same consciousness, from the same stories that drive the actions, well, it's not actually different. Energetically, it's exactly the same. So if you're with me, you're on a quantum journey into syntropy, which is quantum mechanics, like nature's ways, how nature works. And you don't have to believe anything. You don't have to defy anything that you're not comfortable with. And, it is uncomfortable to learn the unknown. Our brain literally avoids the darkness when and feels uncomfortable and tries to run or just freeze when we encounter something that we don't understand. So that is absolutely okay. But going through this, when you find the courage to do this, what's possible for you is endless. And what's so awesome is that this thing that we think is the bane of our existence, illness, this thing that we try to avoid and push away, that is our best teacher. It's the most wise teacher I have found. And you'll be able to verify everything that I say in your own experience. You don't have to believe me, and you don't have to listen to the advice of an authority. And whatever healer you show up for, whether it's a conventional doctor or a natural doctor or a homeopath, an acupuncture physician, or a massage therapist, you will be that much better of a patient when you have faced yourself and your stories and can show up so that they can optimize how they can help you because you know yourself that much better. So thank you so much for joining me here and watching this. I am honored and blessed to share this work with you, to share my love for you and with you. Until next time, I look forward to seeing and sharing more with you.